strengthening public awareness about technology, energy, globalism, and diversification. I'm your host, Attila Seress, and you know, we have a full house tonight. I want to hear from the audience.
Woo!
I want to hear from the audience. There we go. That's right. We're broadcasting on Ustream.tv, we're broadcasting on Spreaker.com, and of course, if you want links to all these things, you can go to ThinkTechHawaii.com. And if you want to join the conversation, or should I say the party, give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. We've got a full house. We've got Christian O'Connor. He's here from Kamehameha Schools. He's the Senior Asset Manager for the Kaka'ako project. We have Hoala Greevy. He's going to be talking about his new awesome app, and it's part of our new series. It's called the App of the Week. And the app is called Dare Share. Say hi, Hoala. There you go. He's a long time local boy. And of course, lastly, we have Cristalle Henares. She's from Belo Beauty Products, and we're here to talk about her experiences in the Philippines creating
social entrepreneurship.
There we go, social entrepreneurship, and that ties a lot in with what we're doing in Kaka'ako.
I'd love to help.
And you know, she's going to share her experiences and all these awesome things that she's discovered, and maybe Christian here can take a few notes. Isn't that cool?
That's right. It is cool. Absolutely. We're always willing to learn in Kaka'ako. Thank you for the notepad.
So I want to start with some breaking news, and that's going to get us really excited. And so, Christian, I understand you have some breaking news, things that are happening in Kaka'ako. We talked about this, you have some new things coming into Kaka'ako. You mentioned salt.
Yeah, salt at our Kaka'ako is a 80,000 or 76,000 square foot retail experience that we're bringing in. We're adaptively reusing on multiple buildings on this block that we have that's bounded by Oahe, Coral, Keawe, and Ala Moana. It's really exciting. It's a diverse mix of tenants. It's a lot more experiential. It's small businesses, local businesses, and it's going to be like almost like a lifestyle center, but more than that, an urban center for people to be active and experience food, cuisine, art, and an eclectic mix of retailers. So we're really excited about it.
So it's kind of like a mini shopping mall. That's cool.
It's kind of like the anti-mall, actually. You know, it's more about hanging out, being there, being present, and experiencing life and enjoying it, and being connected to the people in the community that are around you. That's what it's about, and it's like be there, be present, be aware, be alive, rather than shop and transact and buy things. So it's a different way of looking at it. So that's happening. Then we have Highway Inn, who's under construction right now, and they'll be opening in 680 Ala Moana. So finally we get some urban lauaus, and we're really excited about that. And the food's going to be fantastic. The build out looks great, and we can't wait for Highway Inn to open. And then the Collection, which is a 467 unit tower by A&B Properties, which is in our Kaka'ako district or area. Their sales will soon launch, and we're really excited about that. And their sales center is actually in 680 Ala Moana Boulevard. So there's just a lot happening. And that's just this month. So things continue to happen in Kaka'ako.
What's this night market I have written down?
Oh, night market. Night market's fashion, fun, art, live art demonstrations. Kids get involved in art. Then there's a little bit of alcohol. There's skate
Not for the kids.
Not for the kids. No, not for the kids. There's skate ramp. We had motocross a couple weeks ago.
I was there for that.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I was just worried the guy was going to land in one of the warehouses, and that didn't happen. So that was cool. Then there's a fashion show piece to it. So we have, and it's local fashion, local designers. And then there's a really cool retail experience where it's all just pop-up retailers. So it could be, you could have really cool stuff from the outer islands, and you could come and pop up in there, or it could be, Andy South or Bamboo Sky or folks like that are, and you never know who's going to be there. So it's like a must come and see. And then they spin house music, electronic music. There's live bands and acts. So it's just it's from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and it's a lot of fun on the third Saturday of each month.
That's great.
Wow. Now
I want to be here.
Yeah, you should come back.
Okay.
I think we can tie in our social entrepreneurs in Kaka'ako to the Philippines and make it happen.
For sure. We'll do something like that.
Now, Cristalle has been active in the entrepreneur community in the Philippines, and so you've built stuff like this already.
Right.
So she's ahead of you.
I know.
Sorry, sorry, Christian.
Yeah.
And
it happens, sadly.
And now, what's happened differently in the Philippines? Are these kind of places opening up, like
small markets? We're giving them places to sell their products, but not just in market setting, but also online. I mean, it probably ties up with an app, and you probably should make an app about it.
Oh my goodness!
Right?
Yeah.
Like in the Philippines, we actually have this movement, and it's similar to Habitat for Humanity, where we build houses. But this guy, well, can we show it in the camera?
Sure.
This guy, okay, he's a visionary, and basically what he did was created villages for those in need, for the less fortunate. And
So instead of one house, he created a whole
he
village.
created lots of villages around the Philippines, but he didn't stop there. What he did was created soft programs where he can train the people for livelihood. And
And this is called Gawad Alinga?
Gawad Kalinga, which is something like helping each other,
Okay.
building communities to end poverty. And that was his vision, to end poverty, to have a society where no one is in need. And what he's trying to do right now, it's called G-Economics, because it's GK, so G-Economics. And they're trying to encourage entrepreneurs to become social entrepreneurs, where you actually adopt a community, train them, and give them skills. So we come up with products like bamboo bikes, for example. So this is the best, you're giving the best knowledge to those who have the least, and imparting that and creating the best products with the least amount of resources. In the Philippines, we have a lot of bamboos just growing everywhere. So we had one entrepreneur just think about creating bamboo bikes, and he's getting a lot of orders, not just in the Philippines, but abroad as well. And he's helping this community, giving them, skills and, allowing them to earn their own money. So he doesn't only build houses now, he finds ways to make the village and the community sustainable.
Wow, that's so
So,
cool. I heard
yeah.
something on TED about super learning, and it was about just thinking about things in different ways, and it was about
Right.
creating things with parts of things, so that third world countries you could have like some kind of medical equipment out of a
Exactly.
car stereo, a car light, and some other equipment, and you could put it all together because they would ship out these things made by our medical companies in the U.S. and it would go down, and then nobody could fix it in that whole place. And it just sounds like this
Right.
is such a really great idea, and it's coming
very
from the bottom
resourceful.
up.
It's
Yeah.
creative. It helps entrepreneurs, and it makes micro entrepreneurs also, because you're trying to teach people to be their own business owner as well. So yeah.
Well, and that is really interesting because I think there's some of that going on here in Hawaii. By the way, before we get too far, that's Gawad Kalinga. We'll put a
Kalinga,
link to
right.
that
Right.
on our podcast, and that you can check that out after the
Okay.
show. ThinkTechHawaii.com.
That's awesome.
And I think there's some of that going on here. Now, I know you started PowSpam, right?
Yeah.
So, by the way, that's Hoala Greevy. He's also in the Manoa Innovation Center, and he started up a new app, and we're going to talk about that a little bit after the break. So you guys stay tuned. But you also started PowSpam some time ago, and wasn't that sort of the same idea? You kind of pieced together parts to match a need here in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was doing consulting at the time, and people were complaining about the same thing over and over again. So I just sat down and did some all-nighters. And
They were complaining about how much IT
That's
costs,
so
right?
cool, man.
No, it was how much spam they were getting, right?
spam and viruses. Yeah, that was in 2002.
So your mission was to clean Hawaii of spam and viruses.
I come back from a startup in the Bay Area, and it was an email hosting company. So I had a little bit of a background for it.
And then you brought it here, and you made the world a little bit safer. And you just put together different technology you picked up
Pretty
along
generous.
the way, right?
Thank you.
Well,
Made the world.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And
I'm glad I'm sitting next to you. I feel safer already.
well, it's okay on camera. Actually, on the radio, no one can tell. So
Yeah, that's true.
don't feel bad.
I'm
But,
sitting next to him, guys.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, we have a studio audience here too. I see a lot of phones up here. Hi guys. There we go. We've been told that we can be heckled during the show.
International audience.
International.
That's right, international.
Exactly.
And
So-
I don't know if they have mics, but they are hooting and hollering. So, and of course, if you guys want to join the party sometime, give us a call over here, 296-5467, or give Jay an email. That's jay@fidel.com. And now, before we jump to commercial break, and after we get back, we're going to talk about your new app. We're going to make some faces and some funny poses. That's going to be really fun.
I'm in.
That's right.
But I don't want to get too far away from the Kaka'ako thing. But tell me, maybe in 1 minute, what you would like to see happen in the next 6 months in Kaka'ako.
Wow.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, in the next 6 months, what we'd like to see happen in Kaka'ako is just continued expansion of people coming in that are creating ideas, creating opportunities, and creating businesses. We have a huge movement of smart entrepreneurs that are growing their businesses, coming together to collide, and those collisions create opportunity. And within 20 months, we've gotten Kaka'ako to kind of where it is now. And I'm telling you, within 6 months, we can go as far as we've gone, if not a little bit further than we've already gone. So I think I'm excited about the opportunities that we don't even know that's going to come out of Kaka'ako. And I'm excited about the events and the new programming experiences we're going to see. And so I think the next 6 months, look for cooler apps being developed out of Kaka'ako, cool fashion being developed out of Kaka'ako, great music and great art. I think we can look for that.
That is awesome. And of course, in the Philippines, this is also going on. And around the world, I think.
Yes,
I know
right.
Christian, you and I had talked about other places in the country where this has actually happened. And, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to have some fun with Dare Share after the break. So everyone who's listening, stay tuned. This is Attila Seress for ThinkTech Friday. We're talking about finding Hawaii's future here in Kaka'ako. We'll be back after the break.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Rain going east to Hawaii Kai and over to the windward side, but no problems on the Pali, the Like, or the H3. And if you are going east to Hawaii Kai, we're looking good on the freeway and on Kalanianaole Highway. If you're going west, the H1 slows at the Hickam curve, the Moana Lewis slows at Kaiser. And we've got a new water main break, this one at Komamai Drive and Ka'ahumanu. Traffic's being contraflowed.
ThinkTech Hawaii is a Hawaii nonprofit corporation organized in the year 2000. Its purpose is to raise public awareness about the importance of technology, energy, agriculture, and globalism to the diversification and expansion of our economy. We do this by television shows on community television and on OC16, by newspaper articles, and by our ThinkTech radio series on KGU 760 AM. We also do it by panel programs and events, including our monthly luncheon programs with the Hawaii Venture Capital Association. ThinkTech, working to raise public awareness in Hawaii. Check us out at thinktechhawaii.com. ThinkTech Radio is also brought to you by InmoB. Since its inception in 2007, InmoB has grown to become the world's largest independent mobile advertising network, serving over 100 billion mobile ads to date. It has built its product in parts of the world where the mobile phone is not just a screen, it's the only screen. After launching in the US and Europe in 2010, InmoB has more than doubled its global network from 7 billion to 60 billion impressions monthly, and has offices on 4 continents, in Bangalore, Johannesburg, and London, in Nairobi, New York, and Paris, in San Francisco, Seoul, Singapore, and Tokyo. InmoB.
Can you put Belo, my mom says?
Yes, we will.
Belo
Okay,
Henares.
we're back. We're live.
Cristalle.
And you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. It's, the commercial breaks are always a party here.
Okay, yeah.
But of course, we're talking about finding Hawaii's future here in Kaka'ako. We have Christian O'Connor. He's here from Kamehameha Schools. He's the senior asset manager for Kaka'ako. We have Hoala Greevy. He's he's the founder of Undefeated Games and PAL Spam, and he's going to talk about his new app in our new segment. And of
My
course,
introduction better be good.
your introduction is awesome. This is Cristalle Henares.
Belo Henares.
Belo Henares, that's right. Now, she's from Belo Beauty Products, and in fact, we were talking earlier about Goad Kalinga, which is essentially the same thing.
Exactly what they're trying to do here.
Here in Kaka'ako, and we're
Which
trying
is
to bring
great.
the two oceans
Exactly.
together. And of course,
And there's magic to that.
There's magic?
Yes.
There's magic
Always
everywhere.
magic. I mean, whenever I was just talking to Christian during the break, and we were talking about collaboration and how people are just collaborating and creating more things in the community. So I think there's always benefit that comes out.
Yeah, we're in one
collaborating.
ocean.
Exactly.
We're
We're in one ocean.
Not
Okay.
two. There's no divide.
So we have the same
Correct.
dolphins swimming in both of our seas. Got it. All right, perfect. By the way, if anyone wants to join the conversation, give us a call at 296-5467. And of course, if you missed any part of the show, jump on to ThinkTechHawaii.com, download the podcast. And before we get too far, I do want to give the lovely lady
Wow.
a hat. Look at this.
Woohoo.
ThinkTech
Is
Hawaii.
this Hawaiian fashion?
This is Hawaiian fashion.
Can I
Keeps
rock
you-
this with a corporate outfit?
Yeah,
Yeah, of
absolutely.
course.
That's
Okay,
how
I
I
love
do it
it.
here.
That's exactly how we should do it.
Well, and be sure to keep it on day and night and take showers with it as well.
Okay,
There you
I
go.
promise I will.
And of course, we do have a couple of announcements. We're also going to be starting, guess what, a Kickstarter campaign for
Okay.
ThinkTech Hawaii. So part of our little giveaways for people who want to donate a couple bucks to ThinkTech is we're going to answer your question on the air. So if you have a question about life, if you have a question about philosophy, and if you have a tech question, guess what, we'll answer it. So be sure to check out our thinktechhawaii.com website, and we're going to be doing our little bit of fundraising there for that. But of course, this week we're also starting our new segment, which is App of the Week.
Yay!
App of the Week.
Oh,
You
right.
are
Yeah,
the first
number
one.
one.
You are number one.
Show us that in the App Store.
Well,
You will be.
Congratulations.
You will be.
you'll get there.
Well.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Now, so tell us, Hoala, of course you've done PAL Spam, and that was very popular, and you helped lots of people get rid of their email, or their junk email. And so now, tell us,
I did that
what
one.
is this new app that you have created, and why is it so cool?
Well, we think we've created a fun new way for people to connect.
What's
To
it
create-
called?
It's called Dare Share.
Dare Share.
Okay.
Almost kind of like Bear Share. It reminds me of
Care Bear Stare.
Care
Oh,
Bear
Care Bear
Yeah.
And now he's embarrassed. It's okay.
No.
And,
I just see so it has fuzzy creatures on it. No.
If you want to be in it,
I think there's an app for that.
Anyway, it's a fun new way for people to connect, to create and share funny moments, and to get recognized. It's a social mobile network built around people doing silly things.
Okay.
Silly
That's
fun
Dare
thing.
Share.
So show me. We're going to do one here.
And he's volunteering.
Yes, I'm volunteering. We're talking
a
about
very
fuzzy creatures.
silly app.
So here you go.
Yeah, you're a
Fuzzy
fuzzy
bear.
creature.
Fuzzy creature.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
funny. So
Let's
do
funny.
this.
You load the app, you pick a list of dares that the app presents you.
Now,
Dare
this is
Share.
on the iTunes store, right?
Yeah, we went live last week Wednesday.
Last week.
Yeah.
So a local company created an app last week.
Yeah,
Wow. How long did it take you to make it?
15 months.
Wow.
Wow. It
That's-
takes that
that's
long?
longer
I thought you
than-
could-
Oh, it shouldn't take
I
that
heard
long.
it.
It's
was
longer
like-
than giving birth.
It was a lot. It was.
Wow,
this is
that
my
is an
baby
analogy.
here. This is my baby here for sure.
It's
It
your
is a
baby.
baby.
It is. It is.
So we got.
Don't
we got
cry.
pick
It's
from a
okay.
list
It's
of
okay.
dares.
I'll hold your hand. It's okay. He's crying.
You're not gonna
It's
hold my hand after you do this. Okay. So let's do Kaepernicking. It's the 49er. It's American football.
Okay.
When he scores a touchdown, he kisses his bicep.
Right.
okay.
Right.
So
Right.
we'll do that, and I'll take the picture, and you three do it. Ready?
Us three do it. All right, there we go.
So you gotta
So
kiss
one-
it.
You gotta kiss this right here.
Who kisses what?
I don't.
You're
It's
old.
not that
That's
serious.
right.
No.
You guys gotta squeeze
Okay,
in.
one,
Squeeze
two,
into the
squeeze in,
crystal.
squeeze in,
Oh, here we go.
squeeze in.
There we go. Okay, one more.
One, two, and
Okay,
We're
perfect.
kissing. All right, so we're all kissing
Okay.
our biceps.
So
Now we
then
kiss each other. No, just kidding.
okay.
We go in the
I'd
app,
get in trouble.
I'm getting out of here.
and
so
write
now
a
you're
funny
sharing
comment. Let's say
You're sharing this on Facebook, right?
See, look
You
at
can, but
look
it's
at all
on-
those weapons.
I should have
Look at
done
all
it
those
this way.
guns. Right? There you
There we go.
go. There you go.
Who's got tickets?
Yeah, who's got tickets? There you go. Who's got tickets?
Okay, so I'll put a little comment on here. Kaepernicking, if I can spell it right. Kaepernicking.
Did you write the app on your iPhone?
No.
You can
know,
write.
I'm asking a
Actually,
stupid
did you
question.
write it on a
Write
Mac?
apps?
Did you write it on an IBM PC? Like, how did you write it? Mac?
I
It's
just
like
figured.
you can write apps in your iPhone. It's awesome.
Wouldn't that be great?
And then
That'd
did
be
you write them in
awesome.
like
I'm
Notepad
sure.
Lite?
Writing for the same
sorry?
platform.
Notepad Lite or anything? Or no?
Exactly.
Uh,
That'd be
No,
awesome.
never mind.
We're using Xcode.
Have an app
Yeah.
to make an app.
So it's a native app.
Oh, cool.
So
we've
Xcoding,
uploaded.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Objective-C.
Objective-C.
Yeah. So it's only for, well, it's exclusively for iPhone. Right?
iPhone. Okay.
So now
Okay.
you guys are in the app. There you are.
Oh, I see us all
And
kissing
everyone can like, comment, dislike,
cute.
maybe.
on Facebook.
No, in the app.
There's dislike,
We
Oh,
can
in the app.
share to Facebook.
I hope I
but
don't get it.
This is
and we
our
have to
own
take
network,
out the dislike function. Just kidding.
just for you. Right?
Reminds
I'm
me of
gonna like
Hot or
my own
Not.
picture.
Remember that?
Yeah, it's sort of like that,
Okay.
but just mobile. And see, what we're trying to do is become a repository for the culture of the internet. So anytime a meme starts trending, we want it to be in our game, and we want people to think at their base level of consciousness, what do I do when I need a laugh? And we want them to think dare share.
Oh, sure. I got it.
So if like people were planking everywhere,
Yeah.
DareShare would know about it because people would be planking in DareShare.
Oh yeah, I got some planks in here for sure.
Yeah.
Planking is when you make yourself into a board and
I
you
think you
stick
should
yourself
demo
on
it. Why don't you demo?
We are wearing microphones, people, and you don't want to see this planked. Believe me. So, but it's and so your idea is that you take these different pictures and you make them all integrated into your app, and now of course that lends us to the one big question: are you making money, and how?
Oh, that's such an old
Do I
way
have
of
to
thinking.
pay?
man.
It's an old way of thinking, but you know it's old for a reason. It means
So-
it's time tested.
Right now, we're trying to improve the user experience, get more eyeballs, and when we get enough eyeballs, we have some ideas on how we can monetize. Similar to how Facebook's doing it, they have suggested stories in their newsfeed between what your friends see and do. We also think we could do some corporate dares, see if companies are interested in having their own dare and paying per dare.
Yeah, I can see
People
Nerf doing a
hold Coke
dare
bottle.
competition or Nerf or
Oh,
something like that.
interesting.
But we need the eyeballs first, or no one's gonna pay attention to us.
Well, it's been 1 week. How's it gone? How's it been?
It's going okay. We're in 22 countries. We're not in the Philippines yet. We'd love to be in
You should.
the PI. So I'll
Okay.
be your fan.
Come
club
over, come
there.
over.
Yeah. So
What's a good number? Like, what's a goal that you're trying to hit in the next? I don't know.
we're trying to hit 137,000 daily active users. So that's not downloads. That's people who are coming
On it.
in every day. So
Right.
that's our goal to hit 137. And I'm gonna take my team to Las Vegas when we get there.
Wow.
Is
It's gonna be soon.
Are you guys going to do any trade shows to show off your app, or?
Well, we're trying to really get the word out in the local community. We're going to have a Dare Up next week, Sunday. That's July 7th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Hokulani Bake Shop at Pro Ridge Center. First 300 people that show up and play Dare Share will get a free cupcake. We'll
Whoa.
also donate $1 to the McKinley Foundation, Tiger Team Pride. For each of those 300 users, I'll have an oversized check. And at the end of the Dare Up, the #1 new Dare suggestion, we'll put it in the game. So
Oh,
that's what we're going to do.
awesome.
So you get that user feedback. That's really
Yeah.
fantastic. Right
We got to
away.
enter the feedback loop now. See what works, what doesn't.
And so, in Kaka'ako, I'm guessing it's going to be full of app developers now. Now that we have a local celebrity.
Yeah,
Who's-
I mean, I think it already is. We've got Kinetic Labs. The greenhouse was there. Now the greenhouse is becoming Kinetic Labs, which is headed by Mike Prasad, and they've been funded by DBIT to become an app and development accelerator. So they're opening up. They're already underway, but they're kind of working out of R&D while their space gets finished out. But we already have that kind of community building, and we'd love to see more and more of those members of the community all collaborating to create more interesting experiences like this. Or, I mean, I could see how this could make the entire
should
experience in
have
Kaka'ako cooler.
Yeah,
You know? I
you
mean,
can have a Kaka'ako event
Yeah.
too for that Dare Share, right?
Mega Dare. I love it. You know, Mega Dare Kaka'ako.
I'm a member at Box Jelly, if that counts as.
It
your
well, it doesn't count as our Kaka'ako, but they're in our Kaka'ako, and I love those guys, and that's part of their community. Absolutely, Box Jelly is amazing.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
place to be.
Yeah, they beat us in basketball. Though we had
Oh, yeah?
a basketball game between the folks on like the R&D, greenhouse block versus the Box Jelly guys,
Was
and
Tony there? Tony Stanford?
yeah, he was
He's a
there.
big guy,
I
man.
know. So the sad thing
Blocking
was,
traffic.
I know the sad thing was, I thought I was going to be competing against Lambda. Little do I know, my team, we got smoked. These guys were tough, you know. Mother Waldron Park basketball. Got to do it.
Cool.
But the Box Jelly guys, they know how to play some basketball.
I know how to do a mean keyboard typing. I'm fast. But I think I'm officially Hawaii's 5th worst surfer. I'm one of those guys that gets on the board and then just flips upside down. And
We
so
have a
like,
dare share for that. It's
Yeah.
called fail.
Yeah, it is fail. Except for my problem is when I
It's
do
in the
that,
game.
I'm still sitting on the sand, so I'm still like my head is in the sand. I don't even get in the water. So someday I'm gonna learn to surf, and so that I'm Hawaii's 5th worst surfer. Now tell me about your app though. You were mentioning
Right.
this is Cristalle. We were mentioning that you have some sort of app that can make you beautiful.
Right. Well, my mom has been in the industry of dermatology and cosmetic surgery for the past 23 years. So last year we launched an app that has a list of our services, but on top of that, because our last name, my mom's last name's Belo, so we said get Belofied. And it has already become a verb in the Philippines because a lot of people
Really?
know about the magic that can happen whenever you enter a Belo clinic. So they always say, hey, get Belofied, you know, or have you gotten Belofied? Things like that. So
I
we
need
actually,
to get Belofied.
yeah,
Let's
so
do
we
that.
have an app where you can actually, you know, see if you want a nose job, how do I look with a better nose than...
Well, I want to hear more about that, and we're
Okay.
probably going to give me a nose job during the break.
Okay.
But we have to go to break right now for
Okay,
just
go
1
ahead.
minute. And, you know, of course, you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
There's another water main break, this one at Komomai Drive in Ka'ahumanu. Traffic's being contraflowed through that area. The other break, the one in Kahala, has been fixed, but crews are now working to repave the road. Traffic's still being contraflowed in one open lane of Kahala Avenue, adjacent to Waialae Beach Park. And
Honey, if we had installed solar water heating last year, we would have saved about $600 on our electric bill.
Wow, that's like 40 pounds of poke.
Or 15 bikinis.
Or 800 pounds of rice.
Or 200 pairs of slippers.
Or 750 malasadas.
Well, that's a lot of malasada.
Solar water is the first step towards big energy savings. With Hawaii Energy's limited time rebate, get solar water heating for about $2,000 and reduce your electric bill up to 40%.
That's a lot of malasada.
Visit hawaiienergy.com/solarwater.
With the Kahiava Wind Farm on Maui and the Kahuku and Kawailoa Wind Farms on Oahu, First Wind is pleased to create clean, local sources of energy powered by Hawaii's trade winds. Understanding our unique environment and host culture, First Wind develops projects that support local communities and provide net benefits to native wildlife, embracing the concept of caring from Mauka to Makai. Kamakani, may the wind blow towards a sustainable future for Hawaii's people. For more information, visit firstwind.com.
We're back, we're live, and you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. We have, of course, our studio audience here. Bring it up, bring it up! There we go. Of course, we're broadcasting here from Pioneer Plaza. And, Friday, I think, is the best day of the week. So we're so blessed and thankful to have a spot on the radio.
Friday, I'm in love. You know that song?
Friday, I'm in love.
Cure.
Yes. Cure. Oh, that's right.
Right? Yeah, I think so.
There's a dare. Sing like no one's listening if you wanna.
Oh. Can get her.
Except we do have
You can
people
take
listening.
videos as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, that's a fun thing for the app.
That'd be fun.
We were talking earlier about we're finding Hawaii's future in Kaka'ako. We're joined by Christian O'Connor. He's a senior asset manager for Kaka'ako with Kamehameha Schools. And of course, we have Hoala Greevy. He's talking about his new app, DareShare, as part of our weekly segment about App of the Week. And we have Cristalle Henares. Hey, there we go. And Belo Beauty Products, there we go.
Yeah.
And she's bringing her perspective from launching entrepreneurial communities in the Philippines. And of course,
Under Gawad Kalinga.
Gawad Kalinga. That's the program that's
Yes,
putting this together.
that's right.
And in this third part of the series, we like to talk about the challenges that you guys have faced along the way. And stories are a good way to start. So,
Okay.
of course, if you'd like to share your story maybe in developing this app and how it was successful. We're talking about Nose Jobs, of course.
Oh,
Is
okay. So,
is an app that is
right.
Nose
We
Jobs.
talked about the app a while ago. The app, is it Bello-fied?
I got my bell.
He got it.
on, yeah.
And so you can
Look
download
at
it
your
from
nose
Hawaii.
on that. Oh my God.
Just gotta-
Oh wait, I'll teach you how to do it. Here's no, but there we do have an app, and one cool thing is then you can actually manipulate your face to a certain extent. Oh, I need a bigger, less of the jawline, or I want a stronger jawline. I want I want my boobs bigger. So girls can actually go on that app and then play with their boobs first, and then zoom out and say, it doesn't really fit me. Okay,
This show is awesome. That's all I
Right?
can say.
Isn't it? So we're merging
women are going to
beauty
do that. I mean, what about?
and tech. Beauty tech. So
Well,
What do
we
you have
should
for
we should have a
guys?
I'm just
hat.
going to stay
like,
well away from this.
no, the hat should say like tech is sexy, something like that.
Tech is sexy. Tech is now more sexy because of Bello-fied.
Exactly. So there. I mean, even before you come in and do a procedure, of course, we have a disclaimer there that what you do to your face is not. You can't say, "I want this done."
Things may look different in
Yeah. But, I mean, you do it. You're not.
The morning is not the
professional.
same as the afternoon shot.
So anyway, it was a fun thing to do. Since we have Filipinos all over the world, in a span of 3 weeks, we were one of the top 10 most downloaded app in like 20 different countries. So even in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, things like that. So it was fun. It was a fun thing to do. And now it's still there. So you can look at our services, play with your face, play with your body, see what the outcome is.
Unlike the real world.
Yeah, well, we actually outsourced the development to the United States. So
Really? What? Wow. Hold on. Stop the presses right now.
No, you
the
know why?
Philippines
Because we were
outsourced
the
to the US
first,
to make an app.
Yes.
Wow.
We were the first ones that came out with the app. So, there was no one has ever done it in the Philippines, and we saw a peg which we liked in the App Store, and we felt that we could just enhance it. So that's where we started. And
Peg. Is that
a
the photo booth one?
A peg is like something that you can benchmark against.
Okay.
So we saw something in the App Store which was similar to something we wanted, but we wanted to enhance it more. So we got someone in the Philippines who scouted for different app developers in the States. And then he was able to do it for us in a span of like 6 months.
Wow, so 6 months. So
yeah.
less than a birth.
So you can even
Yours took a year and a half.
yeah, you can even like take out a pimple and like straighten your fine lines.
Wow.
See how you look with Botox, yeah?
But tell us, so not everyone can just outsource to the United States.
Right.
An app idea. Right. So, I mean, if you guys were to try to do this yourself, how difficult would it have been? And do you have people, small entrepreneurs who are trying to make apps in the Philippines?
We do have, after we had launched it, then all my other friends and some of the developers in the Philippines said, why didn't you come to us? We could do something like this. We're like, oh, I'm sorry. But of course, we said the succeeding apps will definitely get you guys. So I think we do have, we outsourced it to the States. I'm sure someone in the States just outsourced it back to the Philippines.
Oh, really?
That's what it is. We were in the car and I was telling you about this BPO industry, or the business process outsourcing. So whether it's accounting, law, or whatever, taking phone calls. When you call the 1-800 number, it's actually the Philippines that receives the number. And since we speak English very well, you kind of can't tell that the person on the other end of the line is a Filipino. Right.
Tax returns.
You speak another language?
HR.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Your English is perfect. You'd never know.
Yeah. Well, it's not perfect, but it'll do. I mean, the cops thought I was from here.
The cops?
Remember we were telling you the story. So, if you guys didn't know, public service announcement, you actually have to wear seatbelts in Hawaii if you're seated in the back seat.
Yeah.
And you didn't know this until I told you this a while ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's a new law. It's just
Right, it's a new law. Oh, sorry.
It's just prudent to wear seatbelts in general.
Right.
In the back
right.
seat, the ladies, they all have to put on their makeup. And,
Right. So we were in the taxi a while ago, and I was like, "Do we have to put a seatbelt?" And then the driver's like, "Oh, yes, it's a new law. Please wear your seatbelt." So they still are getting the hang of it. So anyway, the cop stopped us because we were riding our seatbelt. We were like, "I'm sorry, we're not from here." He goes, "You speak English so well. I didn't think you're not from here. Okay, here's our passport. We're from the Philippines." So, but yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. I mean, if you guys want to outsource to the Philippines, we definitely do all that, and I can hook all of you guys up
for outsourcing.
Yeah. We want to source to Kaka'ako.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start to there first, and then if they still got to
But then again, if
labor.
there are companies in the Philippines that want to outsource to the U.S.,
they should. Why go anywhere else than Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah.
Exactly.
It's so close.
Now, I've actually heard this story from a totally different perspective, but it's the same thing. There was actually a Japanese company. I think they did insurance, and it was less expensive for them to open an office here in Hawaii than it was in Japan. So they opened an office here, and they flew their people here. They lived in Hawaii. I'm sure they had no problem with it because it was less expensive than Japan.
So what's beautiful about that? It's less expensive, and you're in the most beautiful place in the world.
Yes.
It is beautiful, I must say.
Can't
Like,
beat it.
we were swimming and there was a rainbow out yesterday, and they're like, "Well, it happens here all the time."
They're everywhere.
Wow, it's amazing.
Is this your first time to Hawaii?
I came here when I was 6 years old, so
Yeah.
technically my first time again. I have no memories. I love it here.
That's the thing. Once you come here, you just get hooked.
Exactly.
There's so many stories of that. People just say, I came to Hawaii on vacation and I never left.
Whether you know how to surf or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the vibe. The people are kind.
I'm the 5th worst surfer in Hawaii. I guarantee it.
Exactly. So I love your place.
Wow.
Invite me over again so that I can visit your area.
Yeah, absolutely. During a night market.
Exactly.
That's fun.
Now, tell me
Third
more
week.
about this night market. I'm curious about this. Because night market can go in 2 different directions, so hopefully you're going in the right one.
Yeah, it's really the events. The events done by Street Grinds, Pony Askew and her team, and they've been creating events and working with us for years. At least 2 years now, and it started with Eat the Street, and so really, night market was the genesis of their great idea and us wanting it to be on Oahe Street. So they've put it together. They do all the work behind it. And they're just fantastic. So, hats off to Pony for continuing to create great ideas and having them happen in Kaka'ako. We're very happy about that. So Night Market, though, is really a family-focused event that goes into more adult kind of related activities as evening progresses. So what's amazing is, 6,000 or 7,000 to 10,000 people show up. The last one with the motocross was just packed. And it's really amazing, but it's not too packed where you can't get which one, you can't hang out because it's on the streets in Kaka'ako. And so it starts off with more family-oriented, fun events like the motocross, or they had a group like a aerosol art battle in the middle of like the intersection of Coral and Oahe between different high schools. So different high school teams went against different high school teams and basically created art on these these pillars, and then they were like judged on it. It's really neat. So that kind of stuff.
Sanctioned graffiti. Right?
I mean aerosol art, and so
Fancy term.
Yeah. And so there's kind of stuff like that happening. And then as the night progresses, then there's bands, then there's a fashion show that happens around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And then there's this great thing we call Pinch of Salt, where there's all this great shopping to do. And so then it's really have a great time until about 11, when a typical neighborhood starts to soften and things start to dissipate. And if you want to keep going, on that robust experience, go to Chinatown.
I went to Duck Butt.
And then there's Duck Butt. And Duck Butt's its own experience entirely. I love Duck Butt. But go somewhere else because we want to shut it down and we want it to be a very safe, fun experience where people aren't getting too, inebriated. It's really family focused,
Right.
great time, good to be with family, good to be with friends. And then if you want to keep going out, go somewhere else. But Kaka'ako is really focused on family fun, friendship, connection, and being present. And that's what we're about.
Could it be a tourist destination also?
Absolutely. It's so much fun. Who doesn't want to be there?
How far is it from here?
We drove by on the way where I was pointing
we
it out.
did?
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's right next to the old Circuit City.
Right.
Yeah, the old CompuSafe,
Yeah,
but back
old
behind
CompuSafe.
there, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun for everybody, but really, it's an event for local people to have a great time. And Kaka'ako is being developed. Our Kaka'ako is being developed for local people to have a great experience, whether you live in the residential units that are there or you just come to participate in the experience and be part of that community.
And I mean, it seems to me that this is something that should have been done a long time ago. Kaka'ako has been kind of stagnant for a long time. Why is it taking so long? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'm trying to think about it.
Some fuses popped there.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll give you the break to think about it, and then we're going to talk
Dodge that
a little
one.
bit more.
All right.
There goes the bell, right? Well, we'll be right back. You're listening to ThinkTech Friday. Stay tuned.
KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Going west, the Moanalua Freeway starts slowing down as you pass Moanalua Gardens. H1 slows at the Eva end of the airport viaduct. It's slow from there to the Waimalu Pearl City exit. In Pearl City, we got a water main break at Ka'ahumanu and Komomai Drive. Traffic's being contraflowed. Windward Drive is good on the Pali, the Like, and the H3. No problems going east. Inbound traffic from the east is slow because of an accident in Kaimuki.
Hawaii, the state of clean energy, is also brought to you by Hawaiian Electric Company, powering the growth and development of Hawaii since it was chartered by King Kalakaua in 1891. Today, Hawaiian Electric and its subsidiaries, Maui Electric and Hawaii Electric Light Company, serve more than 95% of our state, providing reliable electric service essential to our quality of life. The Hawaiian Electric companies are also leading our transition to clean energy by increasing our renewable energy use and improving energy efficiency. We're reducing Hawaii's dependence on imported oil and in providing a more sustainable and secure future for Hawaii. For more information, visit hawaiisenergyfuture.com. Hawaii, the state of clean energy, is also brought to you by the State Energy Office of the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism. How can we secure a better future for Hawaii? One way is clean energy, and the State Energy Office is steering Hawaii to that clean energy future. Hawaii is rich with natural renewable resources, the sun, the wind, the ocean, and the land, and they are all being tapped to meet Hawaii's clean energy initiatives to generate electricity, create jobs, spur economic growth, and reduce our dependence on imported foreign oil. To learn more, visit energy.hawaii.gov.
We're live, and you're listening to ThinkTech Friday. I'm Attila Seress, and we're talking about finding Hawaii's future in Kaka'ako. We're joined by some awesome guests, and of course, our studio crowd. Yay! There we go. And Christian O'Connor is here from Kamehameha Schools. We're talking about what he's doing specifically with Kaka'ako. Hoala Greevy talking about DareShare. And I think we've probably gotten some traction from that cool photo we took.
I see it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You gotta do a better
There's no
dare than
dislikes
that.
though.
What's that?
You volunteered to do a better dare than that photo.
Well, I was gonna plank, but we're all mic'd up here. And of course, the lovely lady here is Cristalle Henares.
Yay!
Yay! She's from Belo Products, Beauty Products, from the Philippines.
All the way from the Philippines.
All the way. Same ocean though, so it's okay. We share the same fish. And she's bringing her perspectives from launching entrepreneurial communities in the Philippines. And Christian, of course, is launching Kaka'ako. So in this last part, we want to talk about what you guys have done. Well, obviously we know what you've done sort of so far, where things are today. But tell us where it's going. I want to see some super growth. What's going on in the Philippines? Can we learn from that here? can we get some more jobs from the Philippines? Because earlier we heard
Well,
that
you
the
have
Philippines
a lot
is
of the Filipinos. We have
Yeah.
250,000 Filipinos here in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken.
250,000 Filipinos.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Right?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
right? I think that would be the right number if I remember correctly.
I feel like I'm partly Filipino, so maybe there's like fractions in there.
Right, right. Well, in the Philippines, it's a developmental country. Wait, did I just not get a joke?
No, it's okay. They're laughing at me.
Well, don't
so-
worry. I'll adopt you so you can be Filipino.
There you go. See?
I think that's exactly what he was looking for.
Well, we're a
Wants to get
developing
vilified.
country. We're a developing country, so there are a lot of opportunities down there, and a lot of growth. And what I love about it is that we're not leaving anyone behind. You know, we're looking out for those less fortunate, and we're trying to bring them along with us. It's not the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, but it's like bringing everyone along in this development stage. You know, I was telling you about also community building. So in the Philippines, a lot of the houses, well, in the richer communities, lived in fenced villages. And the one objective is actually to take out those fences. And basically, the only way you can do it is by building the communities around it. Thus, there won't be any, you know, fear of violence, theft, and things like that. So you know, we want to bring everyone up with us.
Yeah, I feel that fences in some way, I mean, you know, walls in general,
Right.
they're put up, but then it reinforces a fear, and it reminds you of that fear. It's kind of like, it's just a constant reminder of something negative. So it's good that
Especially if
trying
you're
to
on the
take it
other
down.
side of the fence, it's like, you know, people feel like, wow, can I bring harm? Or you're constantly reminded that, hey, you can bring harm to the people within the fence, right? So it's really not a good thing.
And Kaka'ako isn't getting any fences.
No, Kaka'ako, absolutely. It's about breaking down walls and barriers. It's
Right.
about creating space for people to collect and come together and communicate and share and collaborate. So it's the opposite of that. It's you know, taking those walls and putting cool art on them to connect with
Awesome.
everybody else, you know, and
Aerosol art.
and all kinds of art. So it's just not aerosol art though. That's one loud bandwidth that's in Kaka'ako, you know, one loud radio station. But there's a multitude of stuff that's just coming, and that's that next 6 months. We're going to see all kinds of different art exhibitions, art events, you know, entertainment. It's just going to be so cool. But just to answer your question about, you know, why has it taken so long? I didn't want to leave everybody hanging on that. It just, you know, economically, it takes a little bit of time. It takes a lot of money and a lot of risk to put up residential communities in Hawaii generally. And, you know, when you have land holdings like these that have come back, they have, you know, there's tenants in place, there's, you know, perceptions about a place, that is it scary, is it not, or anything, all those things. And so over time, Kaka'ako has become, our Kaka'ako has become a place that's sought after. The perceptions have changed into a place that people want to live, and and it, you know, it's about traffic that's driven that perception. It's about, you know, collecting together in the urban experience and desiring that more now. And I think that's all come together to say now's the time for Kaka'ako to develop. And I think we've got the right stars aligned economically and the demand aligned for the units that, you know, hopefully things will continue to come to their full fruition.
Now, Cristalle, but how about for you guys? Hasn't it made a huge difference in your community?
Yes, you can definitely feel that. Okay, so I remember I showed you the photos yesterday of what it looked like before and what it looked like after.
Right, they took a community and they revitalized it. Kind of like what you guys are doing.
Huge difference. We gave people homes, homeless people homes, and now because of that, they feel they have a sense of integrity. Like, I'm a human being, I don't live in a doghouse anymore. Not only that, but one thing that I noticed is similar is that you pointed out the paintings of the walls in Kaka'ako, and that's exactly what this community did. They painted the houses, and it just looks so clean and beautiful and brightly colored. And I think that has a lot to do with just lifting up the spirit and making it such a fun and sunny place to live in, right? So
yeah, I think it's really about people and their emotional response to a place, and those create great relationships and connections.
Yeah, sometimes,
and then they can do cool dares, you know.
Right, and sometimes you don't think about it, but doing these small physical facelifts Bellify.
Yes, Bellify.
Your
to
Bellify
Bellify the community.
Yeah.
If we do this small Bellify community thing, I mean, if we give communities physical facelifts, then you have no idea. I've seen the transformation emotionally and what it has in people. Before you'd walk into a community and kids and the people living there wouldn't be able to look you in the eye because they feel less significant.
But imagine if you had Google glasses on and what you could do with that kind
exactly.
of community.
There you go.
Okay, glass Bellify.
Yeah, bam.
So,
Augmented reality in real time. I don't like what I'm looking at.
Change. Green screen.
We got one right here behind us. Right there.
Oh, that's great.
Now, how about you for Hoala? You created this app in the Innovation Center, which is a beautiful facility, and we get rainbows and all this great stuff there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing we're going to get a whole community of people just like you in Kaka'ako. I mean, how do you think this would make your life different?
What? If I lived in Kaka'ako?
If you had your facility in Kaka'ako, you were able to create new things in this energetic community that kind of had this synergistic effect, where everyone worked together and was so excited because they were all doing their own things also, yeah.
All right, how about this? What if you had like a group of artists, artisans, graphic designers, coders, just kind of all floating around, hanging out and working on different projects together, and then you needed something? Would that benefit you?
Yeah, so in my opinion, that's at the Box Jelly, and it's at the Manoa Innovation Center, and we need more of it.
Well, especially now since the Innovation Center is having its own challenges.
Yeah, there's a horizon of 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
UH, I think, is going to take it back.
So
that was the lease or agreement.
Well, it'd be great to take all those smart and intelligent folks and bring them into Kaka'ako and keep this thing moving and keep the momentum increasing over time. You know.
I think they're trying to find a new spot.
Yeah. We hopefully we can talk to those guys too, and we'd love to talk to them about it at least. You know.
I think that would work. I mean, it's right down the street, right?
Yeah, I feel like Manoa, it's so removed from, all these other actors, the Box Jelly and everything. I mean, it's not that far. It's like a 7-minute drive. But,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but like if you could walk down the street to all these people, plus have all the people down in Manoa down there, that would be amazing. I mean, just all those people so close to each other.
And you mentioned that this already exists and is successful in other places like Austin, San Jose, Denver, Portland.
I mean, major U.S. cities. I mean, New York. I mean, all the major ones have these things. But I think Austin and San Jose are really great examples of. I mean, Austin's kind of maturing very rapidly. With South by Southwest and all these other things. But it started from a very artsy, university-based, thoughtful community, and it's just exploded into all these entrepreneurs collecting and creating, and with that then comes capital, right? So all this creativity creates a demand for capital and investors to look at it. And I think Blue Startups and the state with Carl Fuchs have done a great job in providing the seeds of capital to allow us to really expand into that. And I want to credit like Shanoa Farnsworth for working so hard and creating such great talent. And I think hopefully we can get to a community that does have that focus, and everybody wants to come to Hawaii not just to hang out and be part of this beautiful place, but to invest in really great ideas and great companies and take cool dares.
There you go, Juan. There's your plug. There's your Dare plug.
They must take.
Well, our studio audience looks like they're ready to be on camera. So why don't you guys come on up over here? Come on, Garlic, Elise, Akaika, Rojane, come on up. There we go. We just stand right next to me over here. There we go. Because of course our studio has lots of equipment.
Just don't step in this stuff.
I have all the lovely ladies on my side. This is fantastic.
Yeah, you're so.
You can stand on that side.
Do you guys photobomb? Do you know what that is?
What is photobomb?
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah. No, not the hand. You gotta make.
Okay, we're gonna
so
do
you're
another.
taking a normal picture.
Yeah, just take a normal
and
picture.
everyone behind you
Right.
is making a funny face.
That's
Making
exactly
a funny
cool.
face. Well, we're gonna take a photobomb while we wrap up the show.
1, 2, 3. All right, let's go.
Thank you guys for coming to ThinkTech. Thank you guys, everyone.
Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. Well, of course, that's Christian, Hoala, Cristalle, everybody. Thank you guys.
The party.
And, it is the party. And of course, for our listeners, any of you who missed any part of the program, go ahead and visit thinktechhawaii.com. And if you like our program, like us on Facebook. And this is Attila Seress, host for ThinkTech Friday. And thank you to to our Chief Engineer, Jack Waters, Account Manager, Patrick Leonard, Board Operator, Leah Rodriguez, yes, Doctor Who, go Doctor Who, Jay Fidel, his passion makes ThinkTech possible, and thank you for listening. We'll be back next Friday, but be sure to tune in Wednesday with Jay Fidel for more ThinkTech. Remember to appreciate life, do good to others, and have a fantastic, awesome weekend. Aloha.
Aloha.